Welcome to Americana Archives. Today's headline is Lincoln as a Lawyer. When Abraham Lincoln was a boy in Indiana, a copy of the revised statutes of that state fell into his hands. This was his first law book. It is said that the boy greedily devoured its contents. That reading gave him an ambition to become a lawyer, but he did no more law reading until he removed to Illinois and became a partner in a grocery store at New Salem. One day, a man who was moving farther westward drove up to Lincoln's store and offered to sell the storekeeper a barrel full of household plunder, for which he had no use. Lincoln paid the man $50 and set the barrel in the store. Sometime afterward, he emptied the barrel's contents upon the floor to see what his bargain was worth. At the bottom of the barrel was a complete edition of Blackstone's commentaries. Lincoln immediately began to read this famous legal work. I read until I devoured them, he said, referring to the commentaries. Perhaps it was that old barrel of plunder that made Lincoln president. There used to be current a story of Lincoln to the effect that in his celebrated almanac case, in which he brought about the acquittal of his client on a charge of murder by producing an almanac to prove that the moon was not shining at a certain hour on the night of the killing, the lawyer fooled the court and jury by showing them an almanac of several years before. Miss Tarbo, in her Life of Lincoln, sets this old story forever at rest in a very simple way. By referring to an almanac for 1857, in which year the killing took place, Miss Tarbo found that on the August night in question, the moon had set just as Lincoln represented to the jury. This disposes of the notion that Abraham Lincoln would stoop to a dishonest trick in order to win a case. Long after the death of President Lincoln, his former law partner at Springfield, Illinois, William H. Herndon, and looking over the accumulated papers in the old law office, found a package of letters, pamphlets, and newspapers, which Lincoln had tied together. On the outside of the package was labeled in the well-known handwriting of Lincoln. When you can't find it anywhere else, look into this. The "it" was underscored. Many mysteries concerning Abraham Lincoln have been made clear by persistent research, but it is hardly probable that anybody will ever know what Lincoln's evidently important "it" was. This story came from the great state of Minnesota, being reported in the Times Enterprise of February 17, 1915. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to continue to uncover all of America's lost and forgotten history, then remember before you leave to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and remember to like and comment below. And we will see you next time on Americana Archives.